What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows. And today, while we may be talking about some small potatoes, this movie has grown to be very big potatoes as it has crossed $2 billion at the box office. We are going to give you our Spider-Man Brand New Day spoiler review. But first, make sure you subscribe. We are a bi-weekly podcast these days, talking all sorts of fun stuff. And September's upon us almost already. So we're going to be talking Supernatural. And before you know it, man, Lauren's going to dive into her Evil Dead for October and everything. And so it's already almost a fall already. It's kind of crazy, but do subscribe. We talk about what we're reading, watching, some news where we got some D23 news for you guys today, including the X-Men casting announcement and then our brand new day. So Lauren, I know I've read a lot the last couple of weeks. I know you've been doing a lot of like reading and other things. So what have you been reading, watching, anything good out there?
Well, the comics I reviewed last week, Generation X-23 by Jody Houser has been really, really good. And Wolvie showed up, like Logan showed up this issue, and getting to see the three Wolverines together, Gabby, Laura, and Logan, it's so much fun because they all have like a similar but different sense of humor. And obviously they can all kick ass equally. So I really, really love that. The $1 Trillion Kid is another Ghost Machine one that's been really good. It's been connected to Rockefellers and Hornsby and Halo. I've been loving that. But I've really been reading the Dungeon Crawler Carl books this last month.
Everybody's raving about those.
Hard to say. So I'm on book 3. I'm about halfway through book 3, but I guess there's, I think, 8 out, and like he's going to do one more, I think, to end it. I'm not certain, but yeah. So I'm on book 3. It is interesting. It's so hard to explain too, because I was trying to explain it to like Josh, but it's like it's an apocalypse thing, but what happened was basically these aliens have been on Earth forever, researching us and planning their own personal reality show where we are forced contestants. But it starts with like, I'll just tell you, this is at the very, very beginning. It starts with like everybody who's inside, everything just gets like squished down. So anybody who's inside is immediately dead. And then they're like, and then they open up the dungeon and they're like, whoever wants to come into the dungeon, like come in and you have to compete. And Carl's in a situation where he's out in the snow in like his underwear when this happens. I'm not going to explain why that, because I do think that should be a surprise. And so he ends up in the dungeon because if not, he's going to freeze to death. And then it's like the dungeon is a reality show for aliens and it is literally life or death. But it's also like a video game where like you meet somebody and it'll say like NPC and it'll say what their stats are. And if they're, you know, what they can do and all of this stuff. And then it'll be like, now you're in a boss battle. And like, but then you can like upgrade your armor. And it's a video game, but it is entertainment. But there's something else going on underneath. There's like, you know, I mean, obviously if they're killing people from other planets, this isn't a great government, but there's other things going on that we're learning about a little each book of like this underground and the politics of this evil alien empire that's using different planets for their entertainment. It's interesting. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't even seen the books, I guess, because they're flying off shelves. So I don't know. I'd have to find.
I know. I feel like I need to buy all of them now before they're gone.
Yeah, I've not read any of them, but I know everyone's raving about them. And Sean from Nerd Initiative has been kind of like the pioneer there, but maybe I'll get to that.
Sean was pushing it, Tabitha was pushing it, and Jessica was pushing it. So when I have 3, like multiple people from very different walks of life being like, you should check this out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to check this out. And I've heard the audiobook's phenomenal. And they're doing a TV show on Peacock.
Oh, that's right. They did get lit for a TV show. So, yeah, God dang it. All right, fine. I'll have to read them. I'll have to find them and read them and we'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, I keep hearing about it. I just didn't know really what it was about. And maybe because I'm like, I don't have any time as it is to
I did a good job.
Pick up another book. But I think it's a really interesting concept, the way you described it. So,
my comic stack is just going.
It never ends. It never ends. Yeah. I've been up to date on like all of my DC just about. So Absolute Batman 23, which probably has the most jaw-dropping scene of any of the Absolute Batman so far.
Really?
We meet Clayface, so Clayface and Batman are fighting, but there's something that happens within this book and the way that Snyder is really building up Scarecrow. And I think that's why I love it so much, is because Scarecrow's always been my favorite villain. So it's about time that he's kind of getting his due justice in this universe. Like they really are making him be this terrifying background villain while Bruce is really just losing his mental. He's going mental. He's losing his mind, really is what happens. And something happens in this particular issue that really just made me go, holy crap, like this is freaking insane. And so I can't rave enough about that. But I mean, Absolute Green Arrow, which got extended, the issue coming out this week was stellar. I can't recommend that one enough either. That has been amazing. And I don't know, I truly do not know who the hell the Green Arrow even is. And it'll make sense, especially after this upcoming issue, because I do not know who it could be at this point as the Green Arrow. And I think that just is such a great mystery, because the whole thing's a murder mystery of the Green Arrow.
Right.
Like killing the corporations, and they're really digging into these corporations and the things that they're doing, like experimenting on people. But I have no idea who could possibly at this point be behind the mask, and it's driving me nuts in like a really good way. But even like Emperor Aquaman continues to be really good, and I'm really just digging what DC's doing as a whole. I mean, Vixen's going to be coming out hopefully soon from Stephanie Williams, which I'm pumped. And speaking of Stephanie Williams, I got to read Any Given Smile early, and that book.
Oh, that's hers?
Yes. Yeah. It's in our email. So I can't tell you enough. If you like the Smile universe, you know, I haven't seen the second movie, but the first movie I dug until the end.
So it's connected. Okay.
Yeah. So it's part of that universe. It takes place in the 90s, and it's, you know,
was that movie from the 90s? Wasn't
the movie's not in the 90s, but like this
okay.
particular run where it's around football, it takes place in the 90s.
Okay, that makes Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think A-Train was like her Kevin Bacon's daughter's boyfriend in that movie. Wasn't that the one? Smile?
Possibly. It's, you know, like, yeah, you look at somebody who's like smiling and it transfers itself to you, and you have to transfer
That's Kevin Bacon's daughter. But
I didn't realize that was Kevin Bacon's daughter. Dang. They made a sequel that I haven't seen yet, because the girl who played in Jasmine in Aladdin, and she was also the Pink Power Ranger, she was in that one. I just haven't seen it. But Any Given Smile is really freaking good. And that ties into Wonder Woman 36 that comes out this week. And, you know, you can really tell that there's a lot of passion in what Stephanie Williams is writing. And with Wonder Woman 36 as a parent, it really is like a love letter to watching your kids grow up and kind of going through I can't really explain it.
I only read the first issue of that. I have every single issue, and so that's one I need to catch up on.
It's like hers. This is just the regular straight mainline Wonder Woman, and number 36 is perhaps.
Oh, it's not absolute.
No, it's not absolute. This is the mainline Wonder Woman number 36, where she just puts so much emotion as a parent. Like it hit really deep and really good, really good. Only the Savage Are Left, Smart Division, The Patron, or some other comic books that I've read. Can't recommend those enough. But I did go see a movie called The End of Oak Street, which is out now. It's got Ewan McGregor and Hathaway. You know, somehow they get transported and there's dinosaurs. Hour and a half long movie, pure entertainment. Absolutely loved it. It was aces. You know, it's Anne Hathaway deserves an award, because she's probably the most badass woman character in the Odyssey, and then this movie, where she's just awesome. Great. Ace. Just loved. And it just is like, go turn your brain. Like, it's just entertainment. I don't know. Like, the street gets transported in a wormhole, basically, and there's dinosaurs, and they're trying to figure out how to get back. And that's really what it is to it. But it's really good. And, you know, it's not a kid's movie. I would definitely say that to the lady who brought like her 5-year-old kids that were sitting next to me and talking the whole time at a movie that started at like 7:00 at night. Yeah, it's not really a kid's movie. It's not Jurassic Park. Even though Jurassic Park, I even feel like a little bit older kids, but
yeah, Kaylee was really good with it when she was like 3, but like I wouldn't have let Logan watch it at 3. No, and I still jumped in front of the TV for the lawyer scene every time.
Well, this one, you know, there was people getting ripped apart by dinosaurs in a few scenes, and you know, they did a really good job with sound and building up the suspense for some of the scenes that really made you get to the edge of your seat. And I thought it was really well done. So, man, End of Oak Street, it just came out this weekend. You got to go see that movie. It's really good. Catch it at some point.
I've seen so many movies this summer. It's been a heck of a summer.
It's been such a good summer. We had to do like a summer wrap up of movies, if we even can find time for that, because gosh, we really have been spoiled with movies.
Yeah, I went to the movies a lot this summer.
You'll love to see it.
You do. All right. So yeah, we have a lot of news, which we've been covering for Nerd Initiative. If you follow them, I do the nerd news. But we're going to talk about some of this D23 stuff now, because there has been a crap ton of stuff. And of course, I think everybody can know what my absolute favorite part of all of it was Hugh Jackman
Ahsoka. Oh yeah, right.
asking if he could be in Avengers Doomsday with Ryan Reynolds.
It's
Because
obvious they're coming back, right? Like they're in the movie.
okay. So I felt like it was obvious before because Wolverine or Hugh Jackman only seems to post videos of him working out when he's preparing to be Wolverine. And he's been posting a lot of workout videos lately. And Ryan Reynolds has been posting the most random of crap in his stories for over a year now. I don't know if you remember, he posted something a year ago and it said like Avengers, but he had like an anarchy sign over the A for Avengers. It was like, what the hell was that? Did he ever explain that?
No.
So it was, yeah. But I think it's funny that they're like having fun with it and not making it official. I do wonder, though, if maybe they will just be in the end credit scene and then show up in Secret Wars, and that's why they're not making an announcement and they're just trolling us like that.
True. That could be, yeah. There's no way that they're not, though. I mean, if the other, like Cyclops, Professor Xavier, all of them are coming back, there's no way that I feel like they're not in it.
But also, is that our Professor Xavier and Cyclops and everything? And like at what time point it is? Yeah, because if Logan is accurate, is still canon, which it was in Deadpool and Wolverine, then all those ones are dead.
I mean, the multiverses are essentially crashing. So there's no way, like all these X-Men that we see in Doomsday and Secret Wars they're going to be dead.
Completely different.
May 5th, 2028 is the MCU's officially first X-Men film because we got
the younger kids.
You know, Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, probably the worst kept secret from Spider-Man Brand New Day. Kit Connor as Scott Summers, Christopher Abbott as Charles Xavier, who I'm not too familiar with him, but I've heard great things. Samara Weaving is Emma Frost, and she's amazing. I absolutely love her. Indy Navarrete as Rogue, who she was in Superman and Lois, 13 Reasons Why, and then, of course, Latest Obsession. Hell yeah. Yeah. And then Maya Boyd as Sue Storm. Or not Sue Storm. Jesus, I read Storm. It's Maya Boyd as Storm. I saw Storm, but my brain went to the Fantastic Four for a second. But yeah, and then Adam Driver is Mr. Sinister. So
I love
that's
going
to be it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, they all got theater backgrounds. So like that's our MCU X-Men. So I don't think any of the X-Men in
yeah, I noticed there's no new Wolverine, but I love Adam Driver for two reasons. One, I love that we're getting Mr. Sinister, a live action Mr. Sinister. It's like finally. And two, I think Adam Driver is just going to be so good with it because I feel like Sinister has like a dark sense of humor. Yeah. But he's still very grr.
He's a great villain.
Driver will nail it. Yeah.
I'm glad he's not Magneto, which is the rumors were, because I don't really want him to be playing that Magneto. I like the Sinister casting way better than the rumors of him.
Agree. Yeah. The Magneto one, it's getting hard. So I was talking to Josh about it because obviously there's rumors about Jensen Ackles playing Magneto. And I think Jensen could nail any role, but he is not Jewish. And so I asked my husband, who is, like, how would you feel if they cast somebody who wasn't Jewish? And he goes, I'm okay with it as long as they don't erase Magneto's Jewish heritage because that makes him who he is. And I completely agree. However, we are so far removed now.
Shout out Josh. Okay. Shout out Josh real quick. Little comic book nerdum there.
Oh, he loves the movies. He's always been a fan of the movies. But we're getting so far removed from World War II at this point, and so much of Magneto's origin story is him surviving a concentration camp. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that moving forward. Like if it's a different multiverse, did World War II happen more recently? As Magneto not ages fast anymore? They suddenly going to make him young. I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see how they go forward with that.
I was wondering that too, because you can't really make him a kid during World War II and then not be
100 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially with this casting of Charles Xavier, who's not young, but he's fairly younger.
How old is this kid? I thought they were all young.
I don't know. He's got
Adam Driver is my age.
I assume that he's got to be in his 40s. But still, nonetheless, I do wonder if they're going to tie in
40.
Maybe,
exactly.
40, yeah. Okay. See, so I wonder if they're going to tie in maybe like when we do get our Magneto, like you said, it could be a multiverse thing, or is it going to be my grandparents were in the Holocaust type thing or something like that? Or
Craven. Oh, yeah. But even that, I feel like it's one thing to hear trauma from your parents and then to experience it. So I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't either.
Nope. We don't have to make those decisions. So good luck, guys.
Yeah, very true. But we do get Ahsoka that's coming January 20th, season 2, and it looks great. Some of the stills. I mean,
They
that's our
better
girl.
do
That's our
Thrawn
girl.
justice this season. I want
Yeah,
I want more Purgles and I want a more intimidating Thrawn,
and more Jabba.
more Jabba, oh, more Ezra. Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if they'll weave in any Mandalorian and Grogu, because obviously Zeb is in both. And then we left
Mm.
Mandalorian and Grogu with Zeb and Jeremy the Hutt. What's his
Yeah,
name?
yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I
Otto
know you're talking
Grotto,
about.
the
My brain
baby.
went to Jeremy Adams, but that's not the right one. I'm sorry.
Nope.
But yeah, no, I do wonder because Mandalorian Grogu for one is coming to Disney
Jeremy Allen
Plus
White.
on September 2nd. But I am curious if those weave in at all or what we're doing, because I kind of feel like the Star Wars universe is a bit lost right now
Grotto
as
the Hutt.
far as what they're doing.
Yeah, they need to
So
do
I
that.
don't really know.
They
We
need to
did
connect it all.
May 28th of next year is the last, the Jedi Starfighter movie with, or not Jedi Starfighter. Jeez, I can't even get this name correct. It's Star Wars Starfighter with Jedi Starfighter was like a video game, but it's Ryan
Ah,
Gosling's. And there was a leaked trailer from D23, and I don't know how that ties in or where that's at. And yeah, Star Wars is just kind of lost. I feel like it sucks. I don't really know how is anything coming together.
I think it's not a lot. It's a massive world. It's a massive galaxy with so many different planets. I feel like they can still continue.
They
Oh, a
can,
book I
I'm
did
sure.
read recently was Bloodlines. And that was actually like, I think Leia when she's like in her 40s or something. And
Yeah.
like, it was a really good book. I got that from MegaCon and I enjoyed it. But yeah, they should do like stories like that to like connect
Yeah.
the
I
original
just,
trilogy with the sequel trilogy.
well, that or like, are we going to get the sequel trilogy? How does, I don't know. I guess it's just really hard for me because you got Ahsoka and all them with Thrawn, and that's all going on with Mando. And then you've got Grogu, and then you've got the sequel trilogy that's kind of there
But it's
where
got to
they
all be
don't.
connected. So they
And
just have
then are
to
they going to
cross
just like
T's, dot
loosely
I's.
connect it, or are they going to do like more movies set after? I don't know. I love Star Wars, so I just want to start seeing more Star Wars. I just want more Star, but I'm
You're
just
still
confused.
getting a lot.
We
Got
are,
it.
but I guess I'm just confused.
I like season 1, but I hope season 2 is better because I feel like it had the potential to be better than it was.
Right.
So we'll see. We got a lot of Disney movie news. I feel like it's just think of any Disney movie and they're doing a
The
sequel now.
Incredibles, Frozen,
Yeah.
those are getting third
Zootopia.
movies. Yeah, Zootopia.
Oh, I didn't even see Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen 3. Incredibles 3. Zootopia 3.
Lilo and Stitch 2.
I don't know that we need a Lilo and Stitch
We
2.
100% don't. I feel like Lilo and Stitch wrapped up with a nice little bow, and that's the
Yeah,
story.
we don't need to bleed everything for sequels, okay? We don't. I
They're
also
like, oh, the live action did good. Let's do another one.
well, I thought even like The Incredibles, do we need a third one? Am I going to watch it? Yeah, but I feel like they've contained everything unless it's more of the kids and Jack now taking over versus being the parents.
Oh yeah, that they said they're going to focus more on the kids.
Okay, that makes sense then. And then Frozen 3, I'm like, where could they go now? They've already explored a lot there, but
I feel like they ended. Maybe I'm thinking Moana. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of Moana with the end credit scene. Never mind.
again,
Ignore
I'm not
me.
making those movies, so I'm cool. Like, thank God, not my problem, not my thing. But we did get a lot of that.
Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah,
We're getting a Greatest Showman the musical. We'll not have Hugh Jackman, but Brielle was very excited about that.
Question on that one. Isn't that like, wasn't he not a very good like person, human? Wasn't
Barnum
there
Bailey?
Yeah, wasn't there some controversy because there was like the whole,
of course,
hey, we're doing this, but he's not a very good person.
Yeah, well, I mean, he profited off of people's ailments. I don't know how accurate the movie is, but in the movie, it seemed like one of those things that was like of its time, and he gave these outsiders a home. Did you ever see the movie?
I did a lot, like when it first came out, and I was like, yeah, it's all right, but it was never for me, and that's okay.
I think it's a fun, feel good movie, but like I'm very against circuses just for what they do to animals.
I don't like circuses for a lot of that reasons, period, anyways, too.
Yeah, I would never take my kids to a circus. I'll take them to Animal Kingdom. I don't even like taking them to zoos, but
I like zoos because I feel like, my thing with zoos, and not to get too off topic, but I feel there's a lot of animals that are becoming endangered now due to hunting and other things. So I like the polar bears. I feel like that's a way for us to kind of protect what's left of the polar bears or the rhinoceroses, and kind of, if it's a zoo that's really well kept and well done. Not every zoo is A1 status, but like the Smithsonian Zoo is beautiful and lovely. San Diego, some of those
I mean,
I
Animal Kingdom
like.
is a zoo.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not.
I
Yeah,
think what
it's
Animal
100%
Kingdom,
a zoo. Yeah.
but I also think like what Animal Kingdom does, like they take care of the animals as well versus, Africa where they are fighting against poaching, but at the same time there's climate change, so the polar bears are dying out and they're my favorite animals. So it's
Right.
one of those like I don't necessarily fully agree with animals in captivity, but I also want them to not be extinct. So I don't know what the answer is there.
I know that's the problem. There is no answer. It's not a definitive line. But like when I go to
Nothing is
Animal
ever black and
Kingdom,
white.
I don't look at the animals and feel bad. Whereas like I've gone to zoos before and been like, this
Some of them
looks
look depressed. Yeah.
yeah. Whereas at Animal Kingdom, like sometimes I'll be like, oh, where's this animal? And they'll be like, oh, that whatever gorilla didn't feel like coming out to play today, so he's in the back. And like, but they have a huge
Sweet.
like savannah to hang
Yeah.
out on and stuff.
And that's what I think we should like more animal sanctuaries, I guess, as long as they are as well taken care of as they should be. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, and
But
I'm all
if you're a
for
tiny zoo,
rehabilitate and release
yeah,
if you can. You can't always release.
right, exactly. And again, that's just my, climate change, protect the animals.
Yeah. But I don't really know exactly the Barnum and Bailey backstory, but the movie makes him look like a decent dude, although he does get a little jealous and has some issues with his wife, but we'll see.
Well, what famous person hasn't, I guess. I don't know.
He was married to Michelle Williams in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. What other Disney news do we get?
Oh, what other Disney news do we have? You can buy tickets for Avengers Doomsday now. The Simpsons, does that count as Disney news? Percy Jackson is out season 3, November 20th. The next Simpsons movie will be September 3rd, 2027. And apparently this Halloween special, The Treehouse of Horror, will be genuinely scary. And it will have a nod to Nightmare Before Christmas. I guess they're doing like a claymation thing. We get a 3D Bluey movie.
I'm excited, not for 3D, but I am excited for the Bluey movie, of course. I will be there.
Live action Tangled out March 31st, 2028. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit is getting a like 3-part series cartoon on Disney Plus out in February.
We got Visionquest October 14th, by the way. Did you watch the trailer for Visionquest?
I did. And
that trailer was trippy as hell.
I was really excited to see a certain someone that I haven't seen since, well, I guess I saw him in Endgame. But I was like, oh, look who that is. I wonder how they're going to tie that in. But I guess it makes sense too. I almost don't want to say for people like Tabby who don't even want to watch the trailers that I don't want to spoil that reveal.
Well, there's also like a plot line too with what they're doing in Vision Quest. And I'm wondering, because Wanda's side, they brought one half of the family together and Vision Quest seems to be bringing the other half of the family. So I'm wondering if we're getting the boys and how that's going to play in and stuff too. But yeah, there's a character that's returned that was awesome. I got really amped and the trailer looks trippy and exciting. And I'm really glad that Vision's back from getting cigarettes.
Well, and they described it as the third in a trilogy. So I guess they're considering WandaVision, Agatha, and this like contained. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I'm very intrigued to be like, what the hell is this? It's like WandaVision all over again. What the hell is this?
Yeah. And it looks very bright and colorful too. And I didn't realize, I guess that's really cool that they kind of have these three, especially now that they're trying to focus more. The rumor is they're going to go more animation because it's easier and faster to make than TV shows. And we still might get special presentations, which I don't agree with, but that's a whole other topic.
I do like the special presentations. I thought Punisher was great. It was very succinct. It helped us to be ready to see him in Spider-Man. Like it wrapped up his basically Netflix story, I felt like. And it was like, all right, now you can go hang out with Peter Parker.
It's a great segue because I do have thoughts on what the Punisher special should have been now after I've seen Brand New Day, because I feel like it didn't tie into.
Should have been Staten Island.
Yes. All right. I'm ready to go into Spider-Man if you are. Like,
yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it because the big plot point between Peter and spoilers ahead going forward. If you haven't at this point seen Spider-Man,
has anyone not seen it?
I feel like everybody who has, right? So the big point is there was something that went down in Staten Island where Peter saved Punisher, and they keep bringing it up in the movie. So I wish now that since they were talking about Punisher's special presentation tying into Brand New Day so much, which I felt like it didn't, I do wish we could get a special presentation of Staten Island and what exactly went down. Cause I absolutely loved and adored the dynamic between Frank and Peter. It was very father son like, and I think at the same time it kind of helped Frank heal a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I did like the Punisher special though, because we needed to have Frank be like okay, and I felt like he was still dealing with so much trauma and everything, and like what we got in Daredevil Born Again, he was okay to be dark. He couldn't be that dark, brooding, just kill, 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 kill in Spider-Man. He couldn't be. And so I liked it, but I do think at some point we'll get, well, I don't know. We never found out what happened in Budapest.
Yeah, we still don't know what happened there. I don't know that we'll ever get Staten Island, but I would love to get something with Staten Island because I feel like it'd be a really fun time. Because maybe Daredevil, like that'd be a fun way to bring the three of them together, maybe somehow.
Well, I was also wondering too, because we all know who Matt Murdock is now. So
Yeah.
did Spider-Man know that was his lawyer then now? Does he know that Daredevil was his lawyer? Because he should remember him. Matt might not remember Peter.
You would think, right? But they don't obviously make mention of it because this is
even
small
mention
potatoes.
Daredevil. He should have gotten a shout out or something.
He should have. And I do really enjoy how they made the one thing that this movie did well is very small. It's the fact that they've explained why the Avengers don't need to be everywhere. And you can kind of go back to solo movies with like maybe minor team ups where Yelena was that scene in the bathroom, her office, I should say, the steam room, right? Where she explains
New
to
Avengers has gone a little to her head.
Oh yeah, she's gone up. She's now cream of the crop. She's top of the chain there. And she goes, "Oh, that's this. Your problem is small potatoes with whatever's going on with Department of Damage Control. That's not an Avengers level threat. Not everything needs to be Avengers level. You guys handle that. We handle the big stuff, the big potatoes." And I was like, I love that because now it opens the door for everybody to be like, well, if this is happening, we're the Avengers. Well, this explains it. You don't need to handle everything.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense because we need to. I do like though that we still got like that scene where you saw Punisher, Hulk, and Spidey all like go across. I'm like, this is amazing. I never thought I would see Netflix and Sony and Universal like all of them.
The three of them come together. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was really cool how they did that fight scene when Hulk. And one thing too is they brought Hulk back to his true size because you forgot really how big Hulk can be. And so when Hulk became Hulk again, even Peter was like, I didn't know you can get that big. Yeah. And so bringing him
the scene
back
where he's running, it was like Natasha when he was like in Avengers when the Hulk is chasing Spidey and he's like, that was, but yeah. So I agree that like this is not big potatoes, so you don't need the Avengers, but I do like that we're more so able now to get those crossovers, which like we saw in Ragnarok, like Hulk showed up, like it's not just the standalone origins and then Avengers. So yes, I like that. So, but Yelena better say something like, "Well, this is big potatoes" when she meets Doom or something like that.
I do hope that we get a potatoes reference. Be like, well, so this is just an off joke when Thor's sitting there talking, giving a speech maybe with Doom. But it was great. I mean, it felt like the movie shifted into horror, which is with Hulk when he's chasing down Spider-Man and Peter's trying to escape. And then Frank gets involved and his bullets do absolutely nothing, which is amazing. And then there's a joke where he does. And then Peter's like, "You're just trying to not fight the Hulk, aren't you?" And he goes, "Yeah, pretty much." And I love that little sequence because it's awesome.
After you see Punisher for the first time in his entire life be actually like scared and shocked. He's like, "Oh shit." And he like goes running.
Yeah. And we see like we're at the time where we now get to see Punisher going against the Hulk, which is something that you probably never thought we'd see.
I feel like if we hadn't gotten the special where he was able to kind of process some of this more a little mentally, he wouldn't have cared. He would have been like, "Let the Hulk kill me. I don't care."
That's a good point, actually. That's a really good point.
Because we did see like he was going to take his own life at the grave of his family, and he ended up not doing that. And which is actually kind of sad when you think about it, because Bruce tried to kill himself too, but the big guy spit out the bullet.
Yeah.
So
it's tragic.
But yeah, so we weren't going to get this lighthearted. This is lighthearted Punisher, even though it's
this is as PG-13 as you're going to get. I mean, even in the beginning of the movie, where Peter sees Frank get into the fray, and he has got his grenade launcher, and Peter takes one. And I loved when Frank just picks up another and laughs, and it's like that's so Punisher right there, where he just picks up his next one. He's like, "Ha ha ha."
Or him and Zendaya. He's like, "You don't have these things I need," and then he's like, "Wait, why do you have those things?" And Zendaya's like, Bombs
Bombs. Okay,
or
yes.
MJ, not
I
today. Him.
absolutely loved the dynamic too with her and Frank because they both mean something different in Peter's life. And
Well, they're similar personalities, kind of.
they're smart and they're sarcastic and they kind of see things in a nihilistic type of way, pessimistic way, even if you will. And Peter's always trying to be optimistic. And so you kind of blend those two. And I loved the intersection there, how they kind of both bond over, Peter. I mean, she doesn't know who he is. And that was even heartbreaking when she found the note, the letter that had been carried around. And she was like, "Are you ever going to tell me? Like, that wasn't your decision to make."
Yeah, she was very matter of fact about it though. Like she was understanding. Like it was a very grown up conversation that made sense. Because it's like, what? I mean, Peter's between a rock and a hard place. Like, what is he supposed to do?
Right. And that's the tragedy of Peter, right? Like his life sucks at all times in the comics, just about no matter what, no matter if him and MJ are married and have kids, his life is still hard. And I really liked how they just didn't make Ned and MJ remember who he was. It was, she gave that, "I don't love you because I don't know you." And rather than, "Oh, the memories come flooding back," you get that. And it kind of is like,
Yes.
that sucks.
Well, and that's a good segue into Jean Grey because when Jean was possessing MJ and they had the kiss and everything, and then Jean made a great point. Like she's inside MJ's head and she's like, "Did you really think that love breaking the spell like would work? Like MJ would be disgusted." And she's 100% correct because that's what I thought at first too. And I'm like, really, they're gonna have like true love break the spell? And then I like right before I was like, but right before they hugged, I'm like, oh, that's Jean.
I
But I
didn't
didn't know it was
realize it.
Jean yet. Did we know it was Jean then?
No, so they kiss and they whatnot, and then that's when Jean basically starts to say it, and that's when you realize,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
But like right
oh.
before, I was like, oh no, that's not
I was
MJ.
kind of worried with that too because I know in the comics, there's like a time when the spell breaks when you want the other person to know, basically, and so I was kind of worried about that, especially because in the beginning of the movie, again, it's really heartbreaking to see Peter watching their college. They fast forward 5 years where it's just Peter
Just did a
watching
good job with that.
videos of their
Yeah.
college adventure, and you're just, dang, that sucked. That's so hard too, man. Like, dang.
Yeah. Did you see the theory that Cloak and Dagger were in this?
I did not.
So the couple that's on the elevator with the little dog, and she's like, "Is that my shirt?" And he's like, "No."
They think that's Cloak and Dagger.
So it was a white girl and a black man, or I should say woman and man, or girl and boy. And so the theories are that that's Cloak and Dagger, which I would. Did you finish Cloak and Dagger?
No, I never really got into it. I'll be honest. Like I tried, and it was just like, eh.
I felt like it was not for us. I felt like it was for a younger, I don't want to say
It's more like a
generation, but
young
like,
adult, right? Like more
yeah.
young adult. Yeah,
And it was on what, ABC Family, I think at the time. So
yeah.
Kaylee liked it, but I was like, gosh, they're really pushing symbolism. And I just felt like it wasn't for me. It was more for her. So I never finished it. They did show up in the end of Runaways. So I did see them at the end of that. But I would love to get a more grown up Cloak
That
and
would be cool.
Dagger.
I'd be cool with that.
And so I wouldn't be against this being them and like not being like little, because they are kind of little kids in that show.
Yeah, and that would be a cool way to open up the universe and get more like different stories, I guess, if you're weaving some more magical things and, demi-planes and things of that nature. I'd be okay with that. I didn't think anything of that other Peter walking away. He's got Juicy on his butt. Like that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I didn't think anything of it either. A friend of mine texted to me and was like, "Oh, did you see this theory?" And I was like, "No, but I love that theory."
I'm down with it. I mean, sure, why not? And going to, there's another thing. So we knew Jean Grey, and I know a lot of people were like, this Jean Grey, she's, first of all, the writer said she never technically killed. Just because somebody gets hit by a car doesn't mean they die. Number one. Number two, this is a Jean Grey whose sister was kidnapped in broad daylight by the Department of Damage Control, and she's
And that
young,
wasn't
doesn't
raised
know
by
her
Xavier.
powers. Yeah, and not for nothing, but like we see people die all the time and by the heroes in the MCU, and so I am fine with Jean being this angry, not knowing what to do, young, immature type version of herself before she meets Professor X, because there's a lot of room to grow.
Yeah, I agree. And that was my whole thing. It's like she was under the influence of, or not under the influence of Xavier at all. And like that was a big plot point in the movies, was that Xavier had put all those like mental blocks in her head to make her not this powerful. But yeah, I remember right before Brielle's like, "You didn't have to punch me." I was like, "Oh, she's looking for her sister."
Yeah, well,
Because we
it's
had just read
crazy.
the Stephanie Phillips run
Right.
where it's about her sister.
Yeah.
And so I was,
And they made it to where like her sister had, you know, the abilities and was kind of teaching her, and then she gets kidnapped, and then so the whole movie they keep bringing up VMAX, and you're like, oh god, please. I thought it was going to be, especially as they kept showing the door, I thought there were going to be some sort of mutant prison or something like that, but then the reveal of
mm,
it being her sister's final thing that she sees, and it's just the vent at the ceiling because she's dying, was
depressing.
really great writing, but at the same time crushes your soul. And you sympathize with Jean because they're trying to basically give themselves mutant abilities so they can control this. And I think that opens up to the entire X-Men universe because number one, Peter very naively, you know, Bruce was even like a universal inhibitor chip. Like that's dangerous business, man. And Peter's, you know, Tony Stark's adopted son through and through because now he's creating his own problems because that's going to be the
New
inhibitor collar.
Ultron.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think, you know, he's an inhibitor collar right there. That's going to cause a lot of issues. And I think that could set up for an X-Men versus Avengers down the road when they kind of find out that. And then when Zendaya and Peter or MJ and Peter were kind of talking about, you know, the cameras and stuff, I thought that was going to open up for Cerebro, especially as they were trying to get in Jean's mind and take her abilities somehow and see how her synapses fire. I was like, oh, Cerebro.
Yeah. And Metzger could not have been a better casting. I know you didn't watch
Oh,
Severance,
but I
but
know he's good
that,
in it.
yeah, well, he played like a similar kind of
Mm-hmm.
character where it's like he tries to be like sympathetic to the employees that are severed, but he's not really sympathetic.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, I
mean,
thought that was
he
great
did a really
casting.
good job with that. Just you knew he was slimy. The way he would just act, you were like, something's not right. And so I got a question. Do you think that because I've been dying and trying to pitch this film to anybody, and it's Weapon X, do you think since they already are trying to give themselves mutant abilities and figure that aspect out, do you think that the Weapon X program is already taking place somewhere?
It could be, and that would make sense why they haven't cast a Wolverine yet. Maybe that's how. I don't think they need to cast a Wolverine. I think they need to move forward with Daphne Keene or bring
I
in
agree.
Dakin. I think Dakin would be cool to bring in. But yeah, that makes complete. I mean, we could get Department H. There's so many places they haven't gone yet that they could go.
Oh, yeah. Now that we're getting into the X-Men, you could really open the playbook and go for another decade
It's
easily
like we
before
don't
you.
want these. I hope to God they do not push the Phoenix story immediately. Like
No, no, no,
that
no,
has
no. I don't
not
think they
worked
will.
out twice in live action. Let's let that settle. Maybe try that way down the road.
I was like, give it 10 years of X-Men stories and then maybe do the Phoenix storyline. But I would love a horror movie or even a horror style presentation of the Weapon X and seeing
That would be
Wolverine
cool.
get, you know, breaking out. Because I think if they were to do and show us Weapon X, the one way that they would be able to do it perfectly is kind of like a body horror style film in some degree because he's getting, you know, they're experimenting on him and how many others and filling his body with adamantium, and then he breaks out and he's killing people on the way out. And so you could really do like Aliens, for example, the way that that movie is kind of set up in a horror where their aliens are stalking, you know, Sigourney Weaver and all of them on the ship. I feel like you can really lean into that with Weapon X because he could be stalking, you know, anybody in there, William Stryker, whoever, or if Metzger goes the route of William Stryker, even, and that kind of stuff. There's a lot there. And then the DODC, I feel like with the drones that they got a hold of from I was going to say Mephisto. It's Mysterio. That's leading way for the Sentinel program as well, I think.
Mm,
So there's a
hmm,
lot of Easter eggs, I feel like, things that they're that breadcrumbs for the future of the X-Men in the MCU.
right. Do you think Jean Grey will fix MJ and Ned's memories?
I hope not. So I was going to ask you, do you think because when MJ is frozen, she's got the tear coming down her face, and then we've got the handshake that they do at the end, do you think that's them getting their memories back, or do you think that that's just kind of like something familiar to them but they don't know what or how or why?
I think that MJ crying was that's terrifying. She's like frozen in time. I don't know that that was any memory recollection. I don't know with Ned because, for one, when he met him, his name was Maynard. And then when he's leaving, MJ is like, Peter. And then Ned's like, Spider-Man's name is Peter. And
Yeah.
so, like, but then he walked up to him and said, hi, I'm Peter. And Ned wasn't like, oh, I thought your name was Maynard. Like, and then they did the handshake and they looked at him and said, Peter, but I didn't know what that was. I don't think that it's clear.
I don't think
it
it's
was
supposed to be
clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to be having these conversations. So I don't know. I think it was just muscle memory. And I think that Ned's probably trying to figure out what the hell that means, but I don't think that he necessarily knows. I don't know.
I don't think Jean unlocked memories, because when she goes in there, I think, Jean can possibly, she can plant certain memories, but I think they're from Peter's point of view. So like, this is something that Nikki from Nerd Initiative actually brought up on the live.
Oh, I didn't watch it because I'm behind on X-Men 97.
Well, no. This is what she brought up on the Spider-Man Brand New Day spoiler, because she said that she can implant memories, like the way that she kind of went in there and there was the memory of Peter talking to Aunt May, and she was kind of in that. And so what if she could have placed some memories from Peter's point of view? And so MJ and Ned feel something familiar, but they don't know because it's not from their memory. So maybe it's a dream. So maybe it was like muscle memory handshake. But I do think him saying Peter, that's when it's one of those like, wait a second, Spider-Man's name is Peter. I think that's what it was supposed to be, but also be open-ended to where they can really go either way with it.
Yeah. My thinking was just, we know that Jean can repair damage to the brain. And I feel like that's what this spell was like suppressing memories. And she's done that for Wolverine after the Weapon X program, where she she healed some of his memories that were lost.
That's another really good point too. Like I don't want her to have repaired everything. I want it to be something familiar, because I really like that, MJ was like, I don't know you. And I thought then the apartment sequence where Spider-Man's in his costume building Legos with Ned and they're just hanging out, and then MJ draws the three of them, but it's Peter not in the suit. Mm-hmm. I thought that was beautiful. And I thought that was a really cool scene, how they just fell back into place. So I wouldn't mind if maybe things slowly start coming back, but I don't want it to just be like, okay, next movie, guess what? They remember everything now. And I just feel like that would kind of ruin the journey.
At what point though, do strangers start being like, hey, I think I know who Peter or who Spider-Man is? Like,
that's the thing, right? That's another good point.
So it's, where's J. Jonah Jameson?
I do wish we could have got him, man. I feel like over 5 years, especially with the montage of villains in the beginning, where you have the Scorpion, you have Tombstone, I feel like they could have done some Daily Bugle stuff in there somewhere. Cause I do think that as we continue this, and Peter's like this broke mid-20s kid, I would have loved to have seen him taking on some of the photography jobs for J. Jonah. I want that to be in the next movie, because I know there's like this new trilogy they're making. So this was like the first of this next trilogy, and how street level it felt. And then you also felt Peter's power when he's beating the life out of Scorpion, when he loses control. I am a little sad that we didn't get the Arachnid storyline from like the X-Men, but I think they can still do that down the road, where Peter turns into like the tarantula. And that's when you have Blade and the X-Men kind of trying to save him and make this serum. That could be that would be awesome too. But now I'm just getting all crazy with the possibilities.
Right. Possibilities are endless.
They really are.
Yeah. And poor Daredevil's sitting in there.
Daredevil's just hanging out in jail while the Hand is working for the DODC.
I know. And apparently Spider-Man single-handedly took down the Hand. Like, what the fuck?
But to be fair, Spider-Man is one of the most powerful beings in the MCU. And so like for him to kind of like take out the Hand that easy, it makes sense. I don't love that the Hand just started working for the DODC. It felt like they just needed somebody for Spider-Man to fight. And so they
were trying to throw us off. I feel like they wanted us to think that Daredevil was going to be in this. And I think they
did
wanted to sprinkle these little things to connect the dots in all of these universes together.
I don't want to see Wilson Fisk show up in Daredevil anytime soon.
A Fisk poster.
We did. And I want him to kind of go away, because Daredevil has such an awesome rogues gallery that I would love to explore Daredevil without everybody else. But I do think that Wilson Fisk and Daredevil and Spider-Man do need to intersect at some point. I think Sony
Yeah.
needs to figure out their crap because
Maybe I'll
it's
show up
right
in
there, man. Like
Born
there's so
Again
much there.
season 3. I gotta watch Jessica
If
Jones.
they cancel Daredevil because they're canceling live action shows
I'm
and
gonna
stuff, then
cry.
I'm going to go to the MCU headquarters and I'm
Well,
going
then
to
he
stage
needs
my
to
own
be in.
strike.
They need to be in the movies. If they're gonna cancel the shows, then he needs to be in the
You
movies.
can't bring Charlie Cox. We can't go through this entire thing to save Daredevil just to come back and be like, well, we're actually going to cancel
And that
Daredevil.
man is at the
And
peak right now.
I'm saying he is in prime. I mean, this man embodies freaking Daredevil. And now we got Jessica Jones. We've got
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. And I was trying to like, okay, sure, I guess we'll get Iron Fist. Like, whatever, man. I don't care. Hopefully they do him justice this time. But like the Defenders are back. Give me Mayor Luke Cage for F's sake.
Yeah. Well, feel like they were kind of setting that up at the end of Luke Cage to have him be. I mean, he was going a little, kingpin, little Godfather-ish at the end, but I felt like that's what they were leaning to because they kept saying because he's negotiating with people in Harlem to stop being bad, and I think it was Misty was like, "Oh, it's very diplomatic of you."
He's the current mayor in the comic books too, and then him and Danny could do Heroes for Hire at the same time, like.
Can we get Elektra back? Elektra should come back, and she should be Daredevil right now.
Oh, well.
While he's in jail.
And work with Luke Cage as the mayor. Have you? Okay.
No, I don't want to see leaks.
Well, I'm not going to leak what's going to happen. I'm just saying that I do agree with you that I think Elektra should come back and be Daredevil. And I wonder if they're going to go the route of Danny Rand putting on Daredevil because there was the comics where Danny was pretending to be Daredevil to kind of clear Matt's name. So I wonder if they're going that route in the next season to clear Matt Murdock from being accused as Daredevil.
Spider-Man did that once too.
Well, it was when, Matt went to jail and that's when they killed Foggy in the comic. And then Danny Rand was out there being Daredevil. And it turned out, and that's how they cleared him essentially. But I wouldn't even mind if they make it to where Matt goes to like San Francisco for a while, because then you can get a West Coast
and
Avengers.
Can go hang out with She-Hulk again.
You could really get West Coast Avengers, right? If they are going to stop some of these TV shows, you can get like She-Hulk, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, Daredevil.
Yeah, a lot of them are in San Francisco. That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can get a West Coast Avengers out of that, and then let Matt be in San Francisco for a bit before maybe returning to New York to cap things off whenever they end Daredevil. I think that'd be I don't know. Yeah. I think we're cooking, and I think Kevin Feige should hire us, and I think Disney should just let them do their thing and stop getting so corporate and put their hand in the pot and ruin everything. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
But, end credit scene. What do you think the end credit scene means with the Spidey tracker and showing P-Dop World?
I think it's Secret Wars. I think we're going to get Miles Morales in Secret Wars.
I don't know, because I don't think they can use Miles until the until Spider-Verse wraps up.
Gotcha.
But there was that glitch, wasn't there? That was kind of like the way it glitched. People are saying that it was very reminiscent of
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I think it's going straight into Secret Wars, because I think like Battle World and the multiverse is kind of coming to collide. So what if we pick up in Doomsday, or we pick up in Secret Wars where it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man or something like that?
I've heard rumors
colliding
of him coming back.
And then because Spider-Man's not supposed to be in Doomsday. Now, whether that is true or not, we'll find out December 18th. But I do think he's going to appear. Obviously, he'll appear in Battle World is what we're setting up for. Secret Wars, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Holland said something in some interview. He's like, well, if the interviewer asked him like, oh, what would be a question that you would ask you if you were asking the questions? He goes, well, I would ask me when Miles Morales is going to show up, because I know the answer. And they're like, well, when's Miles Morales going to show up? He's like, I can't tell you.
Well, I love that, because I know that they're talking about Peter. Like he's talked about, they know how they want to bring Miles in and stuff. And I hope it isn't like Miles is here, Peter's dead. I want to see the two of them kind of interact, because they interact like in the comics. Miles really takes on Brooklyn. Peter's out there doing his thing. So I would love to see the two of them get at least a movie or two together before we get rid of Peter. Because Tom Holland said he'll play Spider-Man till the day he dies, essentially, if they'll let him. But which I'd be down for. I think he's perfect as Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yeah, till he's 90.
Look, I'll take it. The kid's like
I mean, he's
30
got
and he looks
60
like,
years. Yeah. Hugh
to be
Jackman's in
fair,
his
he's
50s.
only 30 and he really could pass as a very young, because he's very young looking. So like good for you, man.
Looking at the
Genetic.
flashbacks though of like No Way Home, the two of them look so much more mature. I don't want to say older because they don't look old, but it's
No,
like they were like
they're
still
babies.
kids in those
Yeah.
last movies, and now they finally look like they are grown people, which is
And
interesting. We're
we
watching them
I
grow up before our eyes.
feel like you can't close Peter Parker's book without really finally bringing in the Green Goblin either. I mean, that's got to happen. And I would love
Oh
to see us.
gosh.
If you bring
Yeah.
Miles in, I would love to see some Sinister Six action, since we know Spider-Man now is a rogues gallery in the MCU. I think that would be pretty
But we
cool
don't
to have
even
the
have
two
an
of them.
Oscorp.
Not,
Like,
yeah, not yet. We need it.
yeah. Because that
We
was
need
one of
to
the things Toby's Green Goblin made a comment of, Willem Dafoe. Like, Oscorp doesn't even exist here.
I would love. Yeah. See, we
don't
can't
have an
close
MCU
Peter's
Green
story
Goblin.
if we don't have some Oscorp yet. And I would hope after Secret Wars and Doomsday, with things get kind of hand waved, magical multiverse crap, give me some Oscorp. I'd be down.
Magical multiverse crap, and bring back Wanda. And
Bring back
Mephisto.
Wanda.
And Ironheart. Ironheart ended so good. I feel like people slept on that one. Oh, and Wonder Man.
See, you could even have Wonder Man be a part of the West Coast Avengers too, if everybody's out there. I'm just saying, they've got to have a plan for, I hope, because Wonder Man's Emmy nominated, and then Yahya Abdul-Mateen is an incredible actor.
With them canceling season 2, I feel like he's got to show up in the movies and stuff. I mean, even with Trevor, and Trevor is like related to Shang-Chi, and he's still around.
Exactly. So what are we doing? Don't stop the shows. Don't, like, come on. I got a lot of complaints, but as we wrap up, what do you give Spider-Man Brand New Day? What is your rating?
I'm going to give it a 9.75 out of 10, but I actually liked No Way Home more, and I feel like it's because they were fan service catering, and I ate up every freaking bit of it, because that's where I fell in love with all of this. Was the first X-Men and the first Spider-Man. So for me, that was like, wow, I've been on this roller coaster since day one, and now I'm getting to see all of this come together. And I mean, we did still get some of that in this, but I feel like that was like,
this was it. This is the big culmination.
Yeah. So I have to give that one a little bit of a higher bump, because it's
fair.
I'll give you that. Fan service. I'm sorry, guys. I do.
I gave this one a 10. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie they've ever made. I know people are like, but what about Spider-Man 2? I'm like, yeah, 45-year-old Tobey Maguire was great, but something about this movie, man, like, I need to rewatch Spider-Man 2, and then I need to rewatch Brand New Day, and then see how I compare the two, and maybe I'll change my mind. But I think, and I've been sitting with this for weeks now, I think this is my favorite Spider-Man movie we've gotten. We've gotten it all. So
I did see a sweet thing to tie this to Spider-Man 2, where somebody's like, oh, Peter wakes up in the hospital and he doesn't have a mask on. And what about all of those people? Or just, couldn't they tell their identity? And they're like, equated it to when Peter passed out after saving the train, and all those people brought him into the train, and they're like, he's just a kid. And then he's like, people were happy that he saved him, so they just kept their freaking mouths shut and moved on.
You see this, right? The people of New York, we have the I Heart Spider-Man signs like hung up on buildings. You've got people out there. And then I love that Frank put the mask on and was dancing around as Spider-Man. That was the most,
he loved it.
I saw you cry. That whole thing was so good.
Somebody pointed out that Peter's probably the same age as his kids were. Or as his kids would be.
Yes. And that's why I think Frank, part of him healed, because when Jean went to his head, he was like, wow, this guy's messed up. But I do think
that was hilarious. And then when he walked away, like he looked a little like a girl.
He was like, and I loved that. But I do love the scene where, Peter's standing there and we see Frank up there just dancing around. And then everybody's like, I know they cut Claire's part,
which is BS. I would have loved to have seen Claire.
Sucks. But at the same time, then the other part everybody's freaking out of is, how does Punisher just go in the hospital? Blah, blah, blah. Well, number one, it's the Punisher. He probably threatened everybody. Do you really think they're going to get shot?
He should be in jail.
Yes. Number two, he's carrying Spider-Man in, and the movie showed you how much Spider-Man means to the city of New York. So I'm pretty sure the hospital folks are like, don't care. We're going to save Spider-Man. We're not going to say anything about who he actually is. And also, like, the Punisher probably threatened some people. So if that's your biggest complaint,
that is a good question, because remember, he's So he should be in jail. It's simple as that.
I know, but also it's the Punisher. Like,
Right.
Are they really? Come on, man. Are they
It's
really?
one of those things you
Especially
just gotta look away.
at a time when you probably think that they're dealing with everybody who just got frozen by Jean Grey. This is right around probably when Fisk's entire, or his whole thing was collapsing. And so the cops are probably all busy with Daredevil and that whole mess. And so at this point of time, like, I'm okay with they're just like, hey, this is Spider-Man. We're not going to report that Punisher brought him in. We're not going to report that Punisher's here. Number one, he'll probably kill us. Number two, he brought Spider-Man in. We love Spider. We're going to protect Spider-Man's identity. Like, that's what it was all about. And so I'm cool with
shoot Spider-Man.
He did. But he did it on purpose. And that also is another part where Frank's like, dang, you saved and then people were like, how did Jean keep him alive? Jean is like one of the most powerful mutants.
She killed Wolvie after his adamantium was ripped out of his body.
That's what I'm saying. Jean had the ability. She kept him alive, and she was holding him alive until she knew that he was stable enough to be alive on his own. And that's when she let go and then is on her way to freaking upstate New York.
Yeah.
Guys, watch the fucking movies. I promise I'm done ranting. Media literacy, guys. Come on. Also, none of this is real, but it's real to me. It's real to me, I said. Ugh. All right. Final thoughts, and we'll let everybody go.
It was a kick-ass movie. I loved it. I'm so excited. Rocks. It's the best.
And now we get Visionquest, and then we get Doomsday, and we're...
Woohoo! And Wolverine's going to be in Doomsday.
He will be.
Big now, potatoes. Whether or not
Hugh Jackman lives to see anything beyond that, who knows? But we got our MCU X-Men. 2 years.
We already watched him.
Not even 2 years.
I need to watch him again.
We're less than 2 years away from the X-Men movie.
Wow.
Great time. We got Doomsday, then Secret Wars, then X-Men. Like, come on, guys.
And Daredevil Born Again.
And Daredevil Born Again. And Vision Quest. And Marvel Zombies Season 2. And I'm holding out hope. There's better days ahead. Hope. Yes, we got to live to see. The world can't end until we at least get a proper X-Men on screen.
It's true.
And with that said, go tell us what your rating is of this movie. Let us know what your thoughts are, your theories, all of that good stuff. We will be back in a couple weeks, probably, getting into some supernatural like we've talked about. We're going to be on the Disney Destiny in a couple weeks. So, stay tuned for a little Disney Destiny content. Hercules is my guy. Ooh, can't wait. We'll be drinking at the Sanctum.
What?
And, we might not be. Our alter egos.
I'm bringing my Wolverine mask.
Our alter egos might be, because I'm bringing my Daredevil helmet, and we're going to be,
I ordered a yellow scarf to go with maybe a blue dress and with my helmet. Ooh. I'm going to wear that to the Avengers dinner.
I've got my Daredevil Roosevelts and my mask, and I should show up with like my cane and glasses and then change halfway through. Ridiculous, but go follow us. Please do catch us on Nerd Initiative, where we got comic reviews. We've got everything under the sun, more breakdowns, Lanterns. By the way, I saw episode 1 and it rocks.
Ooh,
didn't want to talk about that because I know Lauren's going to watch it. So check that out. Check out Derek's content there, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.